today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, this is Madden NFL 21. We'll see Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans taking on Phillip Rivers and the Indianapolis Colts.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. And we are underway from Houston. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Colts ready to go to work here offensively, and it is Phillip Rivers, their veteran quarterback and longtime Charger, who will be under center.
I don't know what it is, partner, but every time I watch Phillip Rivers play, I just have a big grin on my face because he plays the game with such joy. Loves being out there. Remember, he's part of that great 2004 class with Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger, two of them still in the league today. Now he's probably going to go over 60,000 passing yards and 400 touchdowns this season. The big question mark, how much does he have left in the tank? I think he's got plenty.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On second down now, it's Hines, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
They'll run on first down. Hines, and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From just shy of midfield, Rivers, and nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, 20, 10, and they will score. Pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, 75 yards. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Out now comes two-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson in his 4th year now in the league as he gets set to operate this Houston Texans offense.
When we talk about the best dual quarterbacks in the NFL, don't leave Deshaun Watson out of the conversation. 2 straight years he's been a Pro Bowler. Excellent numbers again last season with 26 touchdown passes, 7 more added on the ground, and firm leadership and control of his Houston Texans team. Now he's looking forward to taking the next step and beating Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson in the playoffs and getting the Houston Texans to a Super Bowl.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They begin the drive with Hines. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Danico Autry is in on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis. Well, there was second and long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Following the sack, it's now third and long for Watson and the Texans. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run with Hines. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 38, Rivers fighting Hilton on the slant. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Rivers now from the 50. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. Rivers to throw it. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. They'll throw again. Rivers. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. And right side, they're going to go option here. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. From the gun, Rivers. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Rivers to Hilton there, first down, Indy.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rivers. Throwing middle, and it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll run for it with Hines. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Watson. Rolling to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun. Watson. And some room to run now. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Blankenship out for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's got some space here. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back?
What?
That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run the counter. Howell. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 22. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, it's Watson. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Watson. On the move, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
For the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Hines. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They run the counter. It's Hines. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Second and 14. They'll try to throw here. Rivers. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
The Colts on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Rivers going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And now out comes Houston. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball,
leader, right?
to make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
After the interception, here's Watson. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Watson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. From the gun, Watson. He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Rivers going to bring the Colts up 1st and 10 at their own 16. He'll throw from the gun. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle, the Pro Bowl tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And it's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Rivers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hines. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Deshaun Watson making his way back out, the focus of our players' spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, That usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Now pass there over the middle to start things out. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson to give. This is Johnson. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson, his throw incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Watson rolling to his right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Colts pick it up. And these guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Good job starting on that scramble. Had his eyes on that first down marker, CD, but lost the most important thing, the football.
Yeah, wasn't quite there. Focused solely on getting to the first down marker. Forgot to cover up and take care of the ball.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. He'll get this one to Pittman. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
And Rivers lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. Past the 20, 10, and they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Rodgers on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Come on now. Indy set to go on offense once more.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Rivers now to throw on first down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Zach Cunningham able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Rivers on the right side. It's Hilton with a catch. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now the rookie out of Wisconsin. This is Jonathan Taylor. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Colts send out their punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Watson on first down. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. On first down, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We just watched a strong first half from quarterback Deshaun Watson. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Houston set to take over. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And they start the second half with Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. He gets it left side to Johnson. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. but what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing on third down, Watson. They'll buy, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. Their defense just came up with a stop right out of the locker room, and now can the offense take advantage?
Yeah, we don't want to turn this into something that it's not. It's only a one-score game, so it's not exactly a crucial possession. But at the same time, they'd like to get things started and at least come away with 3 points.
Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. This is Hines, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Watson. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5. Operating from the gun, Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans will add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Rodgers on the return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Rivers going to bring the Colts up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Off of play action, he'll look to throw. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Hines. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing on second down. Rivers. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 46. Incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for this sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Rivers. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long. From the gun, Rivers. Throw left side complete. It's Hines. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. He'll look underneath and dump it off to Duke Johnson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now a 10th carry for Johnson, and he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We have so many different terms for 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. How about 3rd and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the 1st down.
Two 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Brian Anger now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here, as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Rivers on 1st down. Finding Hilton on the slant. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Going to give this time to the tailback. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. They're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long. Rivers now. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And boy, he can get hurt.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 34. He'll look to throw right away. Open man, the tight end falls. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. Off of play action, it's Watson. Open man is Q2, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. From the gun, Watson, and it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again, Watson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Mitchell. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
His afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Watson dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. From the gun, Watson. And he's caught. Touchdown, Texans. Darren Fells there to make the grab. And the Texans will extend their lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The rookie Michael Pittman, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 10. Texans able to get in there for the sack. Brandon Dunn in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Colts send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They go to Johnson again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Texans on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Johnson. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Rivers going to bring the Colts up 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll throw from the gun. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers taken in by the tight end Doyle. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air again here, Rivers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Rivers on the money, complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Rivers now from the 50. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hines. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Rivers. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. Caught left side by Hilton. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Rivers out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line.
And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Again, it's Rivers. Fighting to stay upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. J.J. Watt in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And oh, it's complete. What a catch at the 7. They'll still have a 3rd and goal now despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play.
Well, we know he has pretty good hands on display there. In fact, he only needed one of them.
Yeah, nowadays, all these receivers work on this, right? They do the one-handed catches off the machine in practice. They do it with their quarterbacks. They do it contested, uncontested.
And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the lead will be cut down to 14. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Texans back out there and ready to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, it's Johnson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays. And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.